Welcome back. This is the Series of Opinions podcast, episode number 27, Host Pick Updates. We kind of recently did a series where we each picked a show for the other ones to watch, and this episode we're going to update each other on what we think of the show. We are three women discussing the best and worst of media and our opinions about them. I'm Faith.
I'm Moira.
I'm KJ.
And for this week, do we have any recommendations that we want to give?
I do.
Okay.
So I have a really specific episode of Do You Need a Ride that I want to recommend. I think it was episode 27. It's a really specific episode recommendation, but I don't know for sure what episode it was. I'm pretty sure it was episode 27. It was in, the end of a series of, just Karen and Chris episodes.
Oh, so good. I love those ones. Oh, Q&A episode part 3, it says, is 27.
Yeah.
Oh, no, is that season 2? Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. And there was, this section where Karen and Chris were talking about, how they have, underwear, from, the 80s, and, it literally made me laugh so hard, and, I wasn't even born in the 80s, but I, too, also probably have underwear from the 80s. I, literally went through last night, and I was like, I need to clean this out. And then that brings me to my next recommendation. It's a TikTok recommendation.
Amazing.
Sophie Lyard, aka the Folding Lady, on TikTok.
Oh.
I love her so much. And if you need to know how to fold or wrap anything, she will have a video on how to do it. I refolded every pair of socks and underwear that I owned last night.
That's amazing.
And, she'll tell you how to fold anything, and, if you want to hang something, or, how do you fold, an outfit, as a part, and, how to pack for, suitcase, or, how to wrap a gift, or, what if my gift is this shape? How do I wrap that?
I love that.
So good. And then I have another TikTok/Supernatural recommendation.
Yay.
So Kim Rhodes, who plays Jody Mills and also played Carrie Martin on Sweet Life.
Oh, yes.
Has a TikTok, and she's been doing this TikTok series where she plays both Jody Mills and Carrie Martin, and they've been having adventures together, and it's been really good. But it went one step further, because Jody made a reference in one of her TikToks to her friend Donna, who's a season 10 introduction to Supernatural, but ends up being one of the best characters in Supernatural.
Amazing.
And she's played by Brianna Buckmaster. And Brianna got in on this, and where she was leaving a voicemail hey Jody, I'm calling you back, and oh, it's so good. And so if you like Supernatural, Kim Rhodes for real with the number 4, and find Brianna at official Brianna B. And I recommend all those TikToks.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're really good. They make my day so much better.
I love that. That was good. Those are some good recommendations.
Yes.
I have one. Me and my parents have been watching for the past couple weeks this new show called Clarice.
Ooh, I haven't even heard of this, which is rare.
Based off of the movie Silence of the Lambs. It's
I actually like that movie.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to. And I'm now getting into it because since I hadn't seen the movie, it took me a minute to kind of figure out what's going on. But yeah, it takes place after the movie takes place. Follows the same woman, and they create a task force to go after specifically serial killers. And it's really good. It takes a couple episodes to kind of get into and really ramp up, but it's really, really good. Really well done.
I'm going to have to rewatch Silence of the Lambs and its associated titles and then watch this. I don't have time at the moment to do any of that, but...
Definitely, once you're out of school and stuff, I would definitely recommend. The show is great. And that's all I have.
That's good anyways. That's perfect.
Yes.
Incredible. My only recommendation is the Descendants movies.
Oh my god.
/ the Descendants soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because I rediscovered that last night, and I just listened to the entire soundtracks again, and so good. And also the movies are super great, and I love the movies.
Yeah, they're so good, honestly.
You guys, I've never seen them, but I know I should, because they're so something I would like. I know.
You would very much love
them.
They're
the younger generation's High School Musical. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's good that you remind me of that, because I've always meant to watch it, and I don't know why I never have.
They're good. They came out when we were, like, supposed to be over Disney Channel, but, like, no. They're so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched it with the kids that I babysat for the first time, but then I watched it 50,000 times because a bunch of my favorite actors and dancing, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard the music is really good and catchy, and...
very catchy.
Super great.
So good. Honestly, great recommendation, Moira.
Yes, that was a good one, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so first we're going to talk about One Day at a Time. Okay, so kind of a disclaimer, if you haven't seen our Host Picks episode, you probably want to watch those first, because we actually talk about, like, what the shows are about and all that kind of stuff, whereas we're probably just we've all watched at least the first season of these shows now, whereas those episodes we've only watched one episode, so we'll probably just be talking about our thoughts about the season, rather than explaining, like, what it's about in specifics.
That was episodes 13, 14, 15. Yes, if you need to go back.
Yeah, good thing to mention. One Day at a Time. Amazing.
Yeah, it was so good.
What did we think? Well, we want to start with our favorite and least favorite, like, plots and stories and episodes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was so good. Yeah, Elena's coming out storyline was brilliant at every stage. It was kind of like a through, like, it was a kind of main focus, honestly, right to the end.
Yeah, amazing.
I loved it. The close second would probably be, like, Schneider's alcoholism storyline in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah, because I've watched all 3 of the Netflix seasons. It made me really upset. I was, like, literally screaming at my TV.
Aww.
But it was really well done. God.
I've only seen the first season, so I don't know. But yes, I agree. The coming out storyline was amazing.
Especially in that first season, like, that was a big thing, and so good.
I liked the Carmen storyline a lot, with her, like, parents being deported and everything. That was really well done, I think.
Yeah. I like that they didn't drop her right away either. Like, Carmen was still a character.
Still present.
Yeah.
I liked the Lydia in church and the whole religion, like, storyline. And when she, like, talks about why she believes God is real, and that was great. I loved that. When she, like, explains to Penelope about why, like, because she protected her in the war and everything.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, they have some real big feels moments.
They do.
Moira, you watched this show first. Please tell us what you thought.
Yes, what you love.
My, like, favorite episode changes daily because I rewatch this all of the time. But, like, I wrote down that I really liked Strays, which is the one with Carmen getting deported. That was a really good storyline. Had some good lines, and I love Carmen. I also like the Benefit with Friends episode because that introduces some of my favorite characters, which is later seasons that Faith has not seen yet.
Okay.
Is that the one where we meet, like, Sid, or is that...
That's the one where we meet Avery, who is married to the character Snyder in real life and becomes the romantic partner in a TV show, which I think is so cute.
Amazing.
I love when shows do that.
Yeah.
Where people's like families and significant others. Especially in a show this short, like Supernatural has done that a bunch of times. Jared, like, met his wife on the set, and then Jensen...
I know. I knew you were going to mention that.
Jensen's wife and his dad, and I think also his sister, has been on.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
His wife had, like, a more major role.
Yeah.
In the last season, they literally, like, retconned in a whole plot so that they could do a storyline, the 2 wives together. They could
be... my god! Oh my god,
it's a total retcon. I'm not really a fan of that particular plot line, but, like, I like that they did it so that they could have a scene together.
Oh my god, that's so incredible. Oh, I'm so excited.
I love that so much.
It's just the wives, honestly. But, yeah, like, a show this short, like, to bring someone's partner in is really incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Really enjoyed it.
Avery's great.
Yeah, so do we want to kind of pivot into characters that we love specifically or don't love as much?
Oh, I talk about a storyline I didn't love.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I really liked the show, but there was one thing in particular I really didn't enjoy. It was hard not to enjoy it, honestly. The show makes me want to enjoy it, but I couldn't get behind it.
Okay.
Dr. Berkowitz and Lydia's relationship was a minus for me.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I don't enjoy this whole, like, I think the show tried to balance it a little bit, where both parties were clear on what the boundaries of the relationship were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't like that Dr. Berkowitz is this, like, down on his luck, like, hopelessly pushover-y, can't stand up for himself, can't make anything happen for himself. Like, you're a doctor, you went to medical school, like...
Yeah.
How have you gone this long without growing any spine whatsoever? Like...
Yeah.
And then just to, like, be in a relationship with Lydia, who's this, like, strong woman, like, it's just, like, not a healthy balance of personalities in a relationship. Like, Lydia's such a strong character. She needs an equally strong person to balance her out, and Dr. Berkowitz often isn't that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like that. Yeah, that's really...
It just feels like an unhealthy relationship that's, like, cute because they're old.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair.
Like, if Penelope was in that relationship...
It as a friendship.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that if the show would stick to that. For more.
Yeah, the show just keeps trying to, like, push it in there.
Flip-flopping back and forth between whether they're friends or they're romantically involved or some combination of the two, and, like, the show either needs to make up its mind that they aren't, or it needs to, like, give Dr. Berkowitz some agency in the relationship.
That's fair.
Yeah, totally. That tracks for
like,
sure.
Like, if Penelope was in that, like, same dynamic relationship, she would be an abusive partner.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lydia is, like, elderly, so it's not.
Right.
That's very fair. I have one storyline that still makes me angry.
Okay.
And it's Victor. Anything to do with Victor.
Okay.
Just, he kind of gets redeemed, and I can accept it, and that's fine. But, like, for the first 2 seasons, it's basically a disaster, and I didn't need it in my life.
I refuse to accept that Victor was redeemed.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, we'll move on. I'll just forget and put him in the back of my brain. Like, I don't care. But, like, when he's introduced in season 1, it's not necessary. He's not a good person, and he doesn't bother to learn anything about Elena before she comes out to him, and he doesn't accept it.
Yeah.
And that's awful. And I'm like...
I actually don't mind that that's his storyline. I just refuse to accept that he's been redeemed from said storyline.
That's fair. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I'm fine. If Victor is, like, not really interested in getting to know his daughter or accept her for who she is, like, that's fine. That's who he is as a person. Like, that's his character. I just,
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not into the really rushed redemption in season 3.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that for sure. Yeah, I, like I said, only watched season 1 so far, so... there wasn't anything that stuck out to me that I particularly didn't like. There's a moment where Alex considers stealing and selling Penelope's pills. I hated that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like...
That was
rough.
Alex has a much better drug-related storyline in, I think, season 2 or 3.
Yes, he does.
I think it's season 3. But it's much better handled than that one moment. And it, like... Yeah. I can picture the moment you're talking about. Yeah, that was a nice moment.
Yes, that is the only thing that, like, sticks out to me as like, wow, I really didn't like that, and I didn't like how it was handled. But
it did lead to a good moment for Elena.
Yes,
she was like,
"True,
you're not white, so you can't like the way that your friends are going to handle this has to be different." Like, it really, it reminded me of, there's a moment in, I think, season 14 of Grey's Anatomy with Bailey and Ben and Tuck, where they're like, your white friends can mouth off to the police, but, like, you can never do that, even if
you can't run, you can't, like, you have to listen to what they say, and
Elena was just like, we're immigrants, like, we're Cuban immigrants, like, you cannot have this, like, a drug moment, like, this drug phase, like, you can't afford it. Because if you get caught, it's gonna be bad, and, like,
that's gonna ruin your life, unfortunately.
And it might not ruin your white friends' lives. Your white friends are gonna be fine, but the reality of our system is this.
Yes, agreed.
I would agree. One Day at a Time had some really good, like, immigrant storylines, some, like, obviously, like, sexuality storylines, like, it's really good.
They covered a lot of topics in a very few seasons.
Yeah, and so well. Like there's such heavy topics that they touch on and do with such like respect, but also like having jokes in there and stuff, but not like disrespecting the topic itself and not like tramping all over the I don't know, sensitivity of it all.
Yeah, honestly,
exactly.
It's great. So characters.
Yeah, let's talk about characters. I love Elena and I hate Victor. I don't think I need to explain.
Me too. That was exactly mine.
Yeah. Elena's coming out storyline was just too beautiful to not love, and then like she's into so many of the things that we're into, and she's just got a strong personality, and we love her. And Victor was just a dick, so I feel bad
nice to see Elena on screen.
Like on one hand, like I do feel bad saying that Victor was a dick. Victor clearly had some of his own issues. And he does do a lot of work to combat those issues as time goes on in the story. Like, his whole, like, his big thing, and, like, I think the first season for sure, is that, like, he left Penelope, or, like, Penelope left him because he's, like, using drugs irresponsibly as a result of his PTSD, and he's not going to get help for it, and, like, stuff. He does eventually do all of that. Like, he gets clean, and he starts caring for himself. It just, like, he doesn't really excuse the fact that he was a shitty dad.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I agree. I love Elena. I love Penelope. I have a hard time loving Lydia fully so far, just because her views are so hard to relate to.
I have a hard time with Lydia's favoritism between Alex and Elena. A really hard time.
That's very fair.
I thought that it would be like a thing that improved over time. It doesn't really.
No. That's really sad.
Alex is clearly the favorite throughout, and I have a hard time with that as like as someone who has a close relationship with my grandparents and like only has like one sibling. Like I would be really devastated if any one of my grandparents treated us that differently. Like
that's really sad. Yeah.
That was a bummer. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about, like, one character that, like, wasn't the one of the five that I really liked as well.
Yeah, I have some I could add.
Okay, for sure.
I really like Jill. She's Penelope's veteran friend. We don't get to see a ton of her in season 1, but, like, couple episodes here and there.
She's the one that she meets at the car place, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah. Penelope's support group is honestly some of the best scenes.
Oh, so great. I love.
The support group is great. I don't remember the name of the other friend who's in it quite a few times at the moment, but I really like her as well.
Yeah, her support group friends are really fun.
Yeah, they really are. And I think they have, like, some good development and, like, stuff. And it's very cute.
Yeah, Jill is great. I love her so much.
Oh, wait, that reminded me of one of my other favorite plot lines. Sorry. The plot line where Penelope stops going to support group and goes off her meds at the same time. And, like, just spirals. As soon as she said she was going to stop going, I was like, oh, no, girl, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That happens to so many people, though. Like, they're like, oh, I'm feeling better, so I don't need to keep going. Or I'm feeling better, so I don't need these meds anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, she just falls so hard.
Yeah.
And, like, and everyone is there for her, but they don't really know what to do. And
yeah.
Oh, that scene where she goes to Schneider's and she's, like, crying, it's, like, 3 a.m. is, like, my heart. And he's like, we're gonna fix this. I can't believe Schneider became such a good character.
I told you! There was a reason.
Yeah, the first couple episodes we weren't so sure about him, but...
Honestly.
I love Schneider.
When he closed the door, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna drink. He's gonna ruin his 8 years of sobriety. Oh my god, I was screaming at my TV. I texted Moira in all caps. I'm like, tell me he doesn't do it. I just, like, I can't tell you that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would be lying.
Oh, it hurt me on a deep level. No. I was so proud of him. And I was so sad. I knew he was gonna do it as soon as he, like, locked the door. And I was like, oh, you just went through this with Penelope. Like, you could have gone to Penelope and she would have helped you.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt. Sid ended up being one of my favorite characters.
Yay.
And honestly, Dr. Berkowitz, even though I just had a lot of critical things to say about Dr. Berkowitz, Dr. Berkowitz and Elena ended up having a really good relationship. Like he almost makes
so
up for the fact that Lydia shows such favoritism for Alex. Like he's really good with Elena. Like he really likes Alex, obviously too. But like he and Elena had some like good moments together where they like helped each other out and like talked each other through some problems and like
good story.
Very kind together.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I just remembered, like, because Face is done season 1 now, you've seen the Quinces.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think about it? Because I love that episode. I watched that episode a lot.
It's so good. It's so cute and it's so well done and so it's just so nice. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say
I love Alex in that episode.
Alex is so good in that episode.
Yeah.
There's no way you can make that dress into that pantsuit in one night, but I like I like that she did it anyways.
Yes.
And I'm glad that was the thing that was missing for Elena, and Lydia just like guessed that correctly, because if she had just like misread that situation a little bit and like that wasn't what Elena was missing, then she could have been really disappointed.
Yeah.
But it worked out really good and she looked so good.
Oh, so good. Amazing. I love that. So good. Okay. Do we want to do Love It or Lose It?
Yes. We sidetracked a lot there, Anya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all confused about where we even were. But
there's so many love it's that I could list, but my like main love it is just everything about Elena and like the storylines that she's gotten. It's not like a lose it, but I would have liked to see Alex get more storylines earlier in the series.
Yeah, he had some good ones in like season 3.
Yeah, he got some like really good ones and he got a developed character later, but I needed more of that because we only have like four seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
My love it was Elena's coming out story. It's so good and so well done. And then my lose it is very similar. Like Alex's character the first season, I'm just like not that connected to him, and like kind of lose it would be like his lack of story and like character development, I guess, compared to everybody else. But I'm glad to hear that he like gets that in later seasons. So it's not that I don't like him, it's just that like I haven't like grown to love him like I love the other characters, you know?
That is very fair.
My love it is just the nuanced storylines that they've brought in over the seasons. I think it's really good that a sitcom was able to do this. Like,
yes.
I think sitcoms often get overlooked as having serious stories, but I think a lot of them do. But this one has a lot. Like, a lot. It's got, like, so many, and it comes at it from so many angles, like, generationally. Like, just so good. My lose it, I think, is basically anything I've said I didn't like up to this point. I think they rushed Victor's redemption in a way I didn't love. They really left it to the last possible moment in season 3, for sure, in a lot of ways. There were some really good like Elena and Alex moments because of that, but like it was rough. It was rough. And again, Dr. Berkowitz and Lydia's relationship was just a minus for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So randomized rankings, you guys have your rankings. We're gonna rank. This is not my order: Schneider, Penelope, Elena, Lydia, Alex. So my ranking is like top to bottom: Elena, Penelope, Schneider, Lydia, Alex.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
For the first season, that's my thoughts.
Mine is Elena, Lydia, Alex, Penelope, Schneider.
Wow, Lydia's high up on yours.
I really like Lydia. I like the conversations that she creates.
That's fair.
And
I accept that.
She's a little old lady who likes to dance and like is fabulous. So like, how can you not love her?
And freaking loves herself.
Yes, I support loving yourself as much as Lydia does.
Totally.
That's fair.
Totally.
I think I have a hard time accepting that about her, honestly, in particular. Not that other people shouldn't love themselves. It's just that I think I have a hard time doing that personally, and so when I see other people doing it, I'm like not into it. But I don't know.
Yeah, just hard to relate to.
Yeah. My ranking is really similar to Faith's. I have Elena, Penelope, Schneider, Alex, Lydia.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Lydia's
fair,
on the bottom for me. I cannot get past the favoritism between the grandkids. It's
that's totally fair.
Really hard for me to handle.
Fair.
Just, if I was Elena, which I essentially, like, am, like, I have a younger brother, and, like, we're the two grandkids and, like, a large portion of my family. Like, we don't have a lot of cousins, so, and we see my grandparents more than most of my cousins do.
And I have a lot of, like, similar interests to Elena. And
and my brother has a lot more similar interests to Alex than Elena. If my grandma treated us this differently, I would be very upset. I would not want to have a relationship with them. So I have a hard time reconciling that with with any positive. I mean, Lydia has lots of positive storylines and positive moments that I do love for her, but like out of the 5 characters that we've listed, she's just falling to the bottom for me for that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah. Do you guys have any baby names?
I don't have any that are different from the last time we came to this. Maybe Avery.
Me neither.
I really like Avery, who Faith hasn't met yet. That's
a nice name. I like that name.
Avery looks like my friend Annie, like a lot. It freaked me out a little bit. Like literally, I screenshotted a picture, I screenshot my friend Annie's Instagram and sent it to Moira because they look so much alike.
It's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah.
I just had Penelope and Penny, which I had last time.
Yeah.
I think we all had Penelope last time.
Yeah, we can definitely agree on that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to move on to Money Heist?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so my first question is, how far have you guys each officially watched? I know, KJ, you finished, right?
Yeah, up to season 4, which is what's available.
Yes. And Moira, how far have you watched?
Season 1. That's it.
Okay, so I tried to, in my notes, I tried to stick to my thoughts in the earlier parts of the seasons. It's really hard because
season 1 and 2 are
like blended so much. So I'm really sorry if I mentioned something that happened in season 2.
It's all good. I plan on watching the rest of this, season 2 probably today because I want to know how it ends. So it's fine.
Yeah, and I didn't rewatch it for this, which I should have. But
I went back and I rewatched the last episode of the first season just to be like, hey, where did we leave?
Oh, amazing!
Love that.
Okay, so you guys obviously enjoyed it.
Yes, so much.
So much. I love the show so much. I cannot wait for the new season. Is coming out,
I gotta really know soon. How it ends.
And there's a new character called Vancouver.
Oh!
Ooh.
Which is amazing. We don't know anything about him at all, except for that he's named Vancouver, and he's gonna try to help the professor, but...
Professor really needs help right now.
In season 4, he's, in a really bad spot, so...
He's been in some bad spots, but this one was particularly bad.
Yeah, this one is one that I don't think he was prepared for, so... Okay, so favorite and least favorite plot / storyline / moment.
Yeah, my favorite, I think...
We can just talk about general good and bad moments.
I think I tried to stick to season 1. I think in season 1, my favorite one was when they bugged Angel's glasses.
Yeah.
That was so good. So good.
So good. Oh my god, so good.
I literally blinked and I missed it. And I was like, wait, how the heck did they do that? I had to go back and when did that happen?
It's so satisfying to me when things are going and it's happening, and then all of a sudden and you think things are about to go bad, and the professor all of a sudden but I thought of that already, and we already have a plan. We're gonna turn it around on them, and we already thought of that. It's so good and so satisfying.
In season 4, what's it called? The plan to rescue if Lisbon or the professor gets caught. That was when we revealed there was a contingency for that. I was like, holy shit!
Oh my god, so good.
The professor's mind is honestly insane.
I mean,
I'm intrigued.
This is life's work. It's so crazy how many elements of the plans there are.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything, honestly. But yeah, the bugging the glasses was so good to get those eyes and ears in the tent. Brilliant. Brilliant.
So good. I'll always love the first episode when we meet everyone and the plan is introduced. I love that. That's one of my favorite episodes of all time, the first episode. I just love that you fall in love with these characters even though they're technically bad guys.
Yeah.
They're you love them so much and get so invested. What did you guys think of Monica?
I love Monica. I think she's a complex character, but I really like her.
What do you think about the whole, like, Stockholm Syndrome thing? Like, do you think that that's like, the part, or...
I don't think she has Stockholm Syndrome. I think she was already in an abusive relationship, so, like, that's an issue to begin with. But I think, what's-her-face that Berlin is with, I think that girl has Stockholm Syndrome.
That has Stockholm Syndrome.
I mean, she also kind of doesn't. Like, she also kind of knows what she's doing. I don't know. I think, like, if you're gonna, like, pick one of those two that's, like, more affected by this stress, I think Monica saw an opportunity, and she took it.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think that Monica does not have Stockholm Syndrome, I think.
Because, like, she could leave at any time. Like,
yeah.
She could leave Denver, and she doesn't.
Doing what she wants to, like, keep control of something. At least in season 1, from what I've seen. She's like, I need to have some control over something, so...
Yeah, and a guy finally, like, is really nice to her and cares about her, too, which is, like, such a stark contrast from being, like, Arturo's, like, side woman, like, mistress or whatever.
And I think you see in the later seasons, like, when Denver behaves inappropriately, she calls him out. Like, it's not like she's, like, unable to leave, or that she's, like, putting up with bad behavior, like... When he behaves badly, she calls him out for it. And she's like, come back when you're ready.
I love it.
And she's, like, a part of the team. Like, she fully participates. Like, it's...
I'm so excited.
Yeah, she's great. I really like Monica a lot. And how she... Like, the relationship her and Denver end up having is really...
Yeah.
I like the way that she, like, stands up to him and keeps him in line. Because that's kind of... His whole character is kind of like, I'm a kid-ish kind of person, childish. And
he runs a little hot-tempered.
Exactly.
Yeah. I cannot get over how much he looks like Danny Zuko from Grease. Like, the like,
I know. I know.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry.
One of
Go ahead.
my favorite scenes, I love most of it. I watched most of the season 1 in a day and a half, so that blends together quite a bit.
Yeah, I know.
But like when they're having fun at the house, like before the heist, with like Nairobi and Tokyo like dancing, and then like them going to the city for the night and stuff. I just think those are really cute scenes. Then a very stark contrast to everything else that's going on. That you're invested in.
Yeah, I totally agree. I couldn't find, for whatever reason, what season it is. I think maybe season 2, but the Chow Bella scene in the vault is always going to be my favorite.
Yeah, so the scene where they, like...
Are, like, dancing in the vault
dancing in the vault. I think that's
in season 1.
In season 1, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh my god,
I've seen it, so it's season 1.
Amazing.
And then the scene where, like, the professor and Berlin sing it is the very, very end of season 1.
That's the end of season 1.
It's the very last scene, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all that I know up to that.
Yeah.
But I just love that so much.
Cool.
It's so, I don't know, it just, like, speaks to my heart. All of them being so happy and, like, free just for a second, and all that awfulness and stress and stuff, just for them being, like, they're celebrating just for a minute all together. I love that. That's one of my favorite moments of the whole show.
I love that.
Yeah, I kind of, all my thoughts are kind of jumbled all in one kind of spot, but
yeah, I've been just so fast that I was like,
yeah.
The professor dressing up as a homeless man, I think, was one of my favorite
It was one of my favorite moments, but also one of my least favorite moments.
Because of, like, it's, like, gross and...
whatever he did to, like, make himself, like,
bleed,
I'm really squeamish about noses.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I watched it, my whole family watched it together, and my sister had already watched it, so she warned me, and so when she looked away, I looked away.
That's so smart.
That was good. I was fortunate for that part.
Yeah, it was...
Because I saw it coming, and she's like, don't look.
It was so brilliant. I don't think I could have gone to that extreme.
Oh my gosh.
But
impressive.
Brilliant, yeah.
His mind.
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Tokyo breaking back into the Mint, is that season?
That's season 2, yeah.
Okay.
But it is really good. That's actually one of my favorite things that Tokyo does.
One of my favorite moments for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We won't talk about that too much.
Yeah.
I hate Arturo with all of my heart and soul.
I hate him even more in season 3.
Of course. I mean, I hated him already, but he just gets worse and worse and worse.
And worse.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting him to be back in season 3 or 4.
Right?
Same with Berlin. God. Based on how season 2 ended, I didn't think I was going to put up with Berlin anymore, and then he played a pivotal role.
No! I need him to go away.
Honestly. I think he's better, actually. I think I like him more in season 3 and 4 than I did
Me
in season
too.
1 and 2.
I literally wrote down, I hate Berlin until, like, season 3 and 4, where you hate him just a fraction.
But I thought I was done with him, and I didn't have to worry about it anymore.
So, yeah, you hate that
very
part
much
of it.
did.
That's fair.
And then what about... Well, I'll just say, I hated the whole storyline of the professor... Oh my gosh. Okay, so does the professor meet Raquel's mom in the first season or second season?
First season.
Okay, so I hated that storyline of him thinking about killing her.
I was so mad. Like, what is happening?
I didn't like that. I get that it's, like, the quote-unquote, like, kind of logical, like,
it is the thing to do. If she didn't have Alzheimer's, like, she would have to go.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
But she does, so he was fine.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, who they try to make the professor out to be, I mean, he doesn't.
I like
because he has Alzheimer's.
It feels like he can't do it, too.
Yeah.
Like, yes. But I feel like even who he is, I don't know. It makes sense that he thought about it, because that is, like, the smartest decision for, like, what the situation is. But I don't know. It just felt kind of weird for him as a character to even think about it.
It's a tense moment. It's a tense moment.
Yeah, very much.
I have mixed feelings. I love Raquel.
Okay, yeah, that was who I was going to ask about next, what you guys thought about her.
I have really mixed feelings about how their relationship develops. Especially going into, like, from season 2 into season 3 and 4. It's very manipulative, and I feel a little bad about it.
I agree. I feel like I just really, really don't agree. I didn't agree from the very second that she forgave him. Because I hate this, because I hate spoiling. But she finds out, and she finds out about the plan and that who he is and everything. And she forgives him.
Yeah.
And I don't agree. Just with who Raquel is, I just don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah. And I think essentially because Raquel's already come out of an abusive relationship.
Exactly. And then the way that the professor starts talking to her. Yeah. It's really rough. I really don't agree with a lot of the stuff that happens between them.
If anybody in the show has Stockholm Syndrome, it's Elizabeth.
Yeah, true. So true.
I like that Monica just decided to embrace the Stockholm thing. I appreciate that about her. Sorry. Her city name is Stockholm, where, in case you didn't...
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. She's like, I'm leaning into this joke, but Raquel, if anybody had Stockholm, it's not Monica, it's Raquel.
Yeah, totally. Goodness. Yeah, I loved her character so much.
I really enjoy Raquel as a character.
While she's, like, working the case and stuff, she was definitely one of my favorites, but, like, I don't know, just into the later seasons, I just, like, don't respect her as much.
Oh, I actually like her. I like what she's been doing. But I think she has a way to go in terms of, like, establishing a more healthy balance between them.
Was there anything else about, like, plots and stories that you guys wanted to mention?
Not at the moment.
Not specifically?
I reserve the right to call us back.
What about you, Moira? Anything specific before we get, like, right into characters?
Not that I can
specifically
think of.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you guys what you guys think about Angel.
Oh, I really enjoy Angel.
Me too.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this must be in season 1. But the moment where they, like, accuse Angel, they're like, well, it had to be you. It couldn't have been anybody else. Yeah. And it's not Angel. It's, like, so good. I felt really bad for him, but, like, I was just, like, in awe of the professor.
Impressive.
And the fact that he, like, orchestrated this whole thing and, like,
so good.
And he's so smart, obviously. He figured this out in, like, no time. He's like, okay, well, who the hell would know? Like, oh, the guy that's been hanging out with Raquel ever since this started. Like,
True. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Angel. I really, really liked him at the beginning. He was.
Do your mixed feelings come from the fact that, like, he's around in season 3 and 4?
Yes. Yeah. For sure. And when he, like, that whole phone call that he, like, the voicemails he leaves for Raquel, really
was not necessary.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But now
when he crashes his car, that's you've seen that, right, Moira?
Yeah, that's in season 1.
Yeah. That just really turned me off of his character.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I literally forgot that happened until right now, and yeah, I'd like to amend my statement. I forgot about that, and now that I remember, that he says some horrible, horrible things to her, and like, she literally was married. She has a child. Like,
yeah,
you are your coworkers, there's never any indication that she's been interested in you romantically. Like, you're not entitled to it. Get the fuck out of here. Don't, like, die, obviously. Like, he immediately is put into a life-threatening situation, which is why I forgot about those.
Yes. That always just really bothered me. Those specific
I forgot about that
said.
right now.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a little gross. I didn't need that in my life.
Especially because, like, Raquel only gets the, like, those bad ones. She doesn't get the, like, important one.
Yeah.
Where he knows who the professor is.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, I just never, like, saw Angel the same, and I didn't like him as much. I didn't have that same, like, I don't know, I get that he was, like, drunk, obviously, and mad, but, I mean...
No, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse,
and...
Also, don't be driving while you're doing that. Oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. While you're bad upset and horribly drunk and awful and, not good.
Not good.
Okay, so who else did you guys love?
Honestly, I mean, I don't want to send us down too big of a spiral, but I think it would be remiss if we didn't talk about Nairobi.
Yes, we won't get too much into that.
We talked about Nairobi at length in episode 13, in episode 5, I think, also.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's
episode 14.
everything.
Episode 14 and then episode 5.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
we talked a lot about Nairobi, and
I like season 1 her. I don't know anything else, but I got some stuff spoiled, so
yes,
that's upsetting.
That's really upsetting.
Dumb TikTok.
That's so sad.
It was just unnecessarily cruel what happened to Nairobi, but up until the point where that happens to her, she's such a, like, good character.
She's just my everything. She's just my heart and soul. I love her so much. And I'm # still grieving.
Another character I was really into was Raquel.
Yeah.
I think that Raquel was really smart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Once she knew where to look, she tracked the professor down in, like, an hour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was, like, way ahead of the full, like, police and everything. Like,
yeah.
And I think that, like, if she continues on the trend of, like, establishing herself in a more healthy balance with the professor, then, like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
I think that the Lisbon professor duo is a good one in terms of, like, you know, heisting.
Yes, that is good.
I think she brings, I just really enjoy her character.
Mm-hmm.
There's I don't know the actress who plays her, but there's just something really compelling about how she's played.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. She is a really great actress. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but she is, definitely great. I do enjoy Raquel.
Yeah.
I love that. One of my favorites is Denver. I have no reasons to back this up, but
no, I love Denver.
I just love Denver.
Me too. He's so likable.
Denver
His laugh is hilarious.
So good. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know which actor that laugh belongs to. If it's the dub actor or the Spanish actor, but either way, it's really good.
I believe it's the Spanish actor, but that's not his real laugh. Like, he does it for the character.
I love that so much.
It's so mean. Oh
what a character choice. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Even just thinking about it right now makes me laugh. Thinking about his laugh is amazing.
No, Denver actually is an amazing character. In like season 2 and 3 especially.
Yeah.
He's had some rough times in 3 and 4, but I'm still a big fan.
Big fan for sure.
I fully expected to hate Denver too. If you remember back to episode 14, I was not into Denver. No, I'm really fully into Denver now.
Yeah. I really like him.
I think he's a really good character.
Is everybody alive in season 1? Has anyone?
I think Oslo's in pretty...
Oslo.
Yeah.
Oslo.
I don't think he's, like, dead in season 1, but I think he's definitely,
yes, he is.
He's dead? Okay. I couldn't remember if he's dead or just injured.
Not officially, but, like, he hasn't spoken in, like, 4 episodes.
Yeah, he's been brain dead for a while.
So he's not...
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, that was rough.
Sorry. Okay. Just
wanted to remind yourself of who all was dead.
Yeah, just so I don't say anything. Because I was gonna kind of call it back to someone we mentioned in episode 14, but
that death hurt me too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no,
so sad.
We have to be really vague for Moira, but
it was really
and our
sad.
other listeners too. We don't want to spoil things for our listeners more than we already have.
Yeah, so sorry. So sorry. It's so hard to talk about this show spoiling things because such big things happen. So what about Tokyo? What are you guys feeling about her?
Season 3 and 4 have damaged my opinion of Tokyo, unfortunately. But based on season 1, Tokyo is great.
I like her.
Into season 2. Tokyo's a good season 2. I think in season 2, Tokyo's one of the best characters.
I agree. Yeah, she has some great moments, great like lines, and yeah, for sure.
But yeah, her treatment of other characters in seasons 3 and 4 has been lackluster.
Agreed.
But she had some good leadership moments that I was a fan of. I think that she should be in charge.
Ooh. Agreed. Oh my gosh, agreed.
I think she should have been in charge during the first heist as well, honestly. Like, when she attempted to.
Yeah, but we learn why she wasn't.
Yeah.
But, anyways.
Yeah.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of all the specific I wanted to talk about for sure before randomized rankings. And, most surprising moment. You guys have anything for that?
The professor driving Raquel to the mansion. Very nerve-wracking.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think that's not fully resolved. I think they just get there at the end of season 1.
Yeah, they're in there at the mansion, hanging out, and he's not doing anything. He's just so calm.
Yeah.
And like, what is happening?
I think that gets further resolved in season 2. Like, I think the first, episode or 2 of season 2, they're still there.
Oh, goodness.
But, I was like, oh my god, is he doing this? Is this part of the plan? Is he okay doing this? Like, what's happening?
Is this supposed to be happening? Like, what? How are we getting out of this? What's happening?
Yeah, there's actually still stuff there? What? Like, it's not completely cleaned out?
Honestly. Yeah. Moira doesn't have the details, but honestly, I think
I don't know how it's resolved.
Was really good.
Oh,
I'm a big
what
fan.
A friggin' good show.
That was a really shocking moment for me. I was like, oh my god, they're going to the place? Like, they got the place?
Yeah.
What about you, Moira?
Yeah, I literally had that written down because I don't know how it ends yet. I have no idea how it's resolved. And it's bugging me. I finished season 1 like 2 weeks ago, and I've just been like waiting and just hanging out with that in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. That's probably, I just love all those moments that, all the aspects of the plan and stuff when it goes wrong, like when he has solutions and has come up with solutions to problems before they've even happened. So I just think that's so satisfying. I would die for another show like that is like as good as this and revolves around heists and stuff. I think that's so interesting.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to do some heisty things, like Ocean's 11 or something.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, for sure. I'm so
What a good movie. I love it. Ocean's 11 is the girls one, right?
Yeah.
The girls?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's the good one.
That's the good one.
It has every famous person in it, too. Like, literally
all of them.
I think fucking Rihanna was in that movie.
Yes, she was.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about before our, like, love it or lose it and all that kind of stuff?
No, I'm good to move on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so love it or lose it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think my love it is just, like, the intricate plan of the heist. Like, everything is thought out. There's solutions for problems before they arise, like you said. Like, everything is planned. My lose it is, I think, just I think it's, like, the treatment of females as a whole. But on all sides. Like, there's not even a specific character who's particularly bad. I mean, there are characters that are particularly bad. Arturo, Berlin. But, like, I think all of them are from all sides.
That's right.
Yeah, just in general.
With the exception of Rio. Rio is a pure being. He is not involved in this.
He's a cute little being. I love him so much.
I did not like Rio. If you recall back to season 14, Rio I was not a fan. I take it all back. I still think he's not super helpful. I think if someone had to go, I think Rio is like the least helpful to any of their like plans. But as a human being, he's the best of them. It's Nairobi and Rio.
I love that.
Yeah, my two beans.
Maybe more Rio. I mean, I love Nairobi, but she did leave her child alone to do drugs.
True,
which is
true.
Not good parenting. I'm sorry.
Very true.
That is a dangerous environment for a child.
Agreed. I was going to say something about Rio, but I totally forgot. He's such a cute small bean.
Yes.
Treats women fairly.
Yes, that is where we came from. Yes, the treating women. Yeah.
Denver a little bit, but like...
Yeah.
He's still a little bit icky sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think my love it is always going to be Nairobi. I love her so much with my whole heart. I just am so attached to her. I don't know why, like what specific reason drew me to her. But I just love her so much. And like my lose it, I agree. Generally, how women are treated, and always going to be Arturo. I hate him so much.
So much. He gets so much worse somehow.
He gets worse. He gets so much. Just when you think he couldn't get any slimier and grosser.
Another person I didn't expect to see back in the later seasons. I literally texted me. I was like, "Is that fucking Arturo?" And then he got worse somehow.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I remember in the earlier seasons thinking, like, I don't like him, but I mean, like, he's
also, a victim of a crime.
Exactly. I was like, I don't like him, but he's trying to get out, he's trying to be brave, all that kind of stuff. But no, we just hate him all the way around.
That is one thing you do have to remember in heist movies, because usually heist movies, you're either, like, rooting for the cops, or you're rooting for the heisters. And, like, when you're rooting for the heisters, you do have to remember the heisters are victimizing people.
Yeah, these people are victims.
We're cheering for them. They're the protagonist of the story, but they are, harming people or property. Yes. They are criminals. They are technically, damaging at least society. But just because Arturo is technically a victim here doesn't mean he's not an awful human being.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, in season 1, I don't, hate him, but every time he comes on screen, I just roll my eyes, and I'm like,
I know.
Move on.
Well, you can just feel free to lean into that. You can hate him. It's okay.
Yeah, feel free to hate him with your whole being. Don't hold back.
He sucks.
He's the worst.
That is fair.
Yeah.
He's a predator, honestly.
Oh, gross.
Slimy slime bag, for sure. Douche canoe all the way around. What, do you have a love it or lose it, Moira?
I do. My love it is just the, high stakes essence of this show. Whenever I'm watching it, you're so invested, and I love it so much. And
I had to start stopping in the middle of episodes. When I'm like, okay, I need to go to bed, I would stop in the middle of an episode, because if I get to the end, I can't stop.
You can't stop, I know.
No, that's very, very fair.
So I would be leaving at 24 minutes into the episode, halfway.
I love that.
Because the cliffhangers at the end were just too much.
I know.
Just too much.
Yeah.
You need to start the next one.
Yeah, you have to wait till something resolves and then pause it and go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And my lose it is just everything Berlin has done since episode 1.
Yep.
Just not necessary. I hate him so
Berlin
much.
Sucked.
I don't think we talked a whole lot about Berlin, but I think we can all agree that he
sucks.
Really
hate him so much.
Yeah.
Again, slightly less sucky in season 3 and 4, but
just
season 1 and 2,
slightly.
Very awful.
Yeah.
Very slightly.
Because definitely just randomly got texts from me, just I hate Berlin. Just so much. Just randomly. No context.
I'm that's valid. I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So randomized rankings.
Yes.
I put 6 instead of 5. I usually do 5. I think I did the same 5 plus Raquel.
Yeah, that was the thing. We were redoing the ones that we did last time, so. Plus we just added Raquel in, because we didn't meet her last time.
Exactly. I was so shocked that she didn't show up in the first episode. I was so surprised.
We had a whole heist to, set up. We didn't have time to learn about who was going to be countering the heist.
Very true. We had a whole heist of people to meet and learn about.
Yeah.
So we're going to be ranking Nairobi, Rio, the Professor, Tokyo, Raquel, and Berlin. So that was my ranking. Never mind. I did it in the wrong order. My ranking, top to bottom, because I went to the next list on my in my notes, and it's Berlin at the top. I'm like, that's not my ranking. Okay, so my ranking was Nairobi, Rio, the Professor, Tokyo, Raquel, and then Berlin at the bottom.
Amazing.
Lovely.
I also have Berlin at the bottom. My ranking is
same.
Nairobi, Raquel, Tokyo, the Professor, Rio, Berlin. I feel bad about putting Rio so far down.
Aww.
But again, he's just not super useful.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, yeah.
He does the okay. It's more. I mean, to be fair, I also have the full context of the show. I mean, he's important for how season 3 and 4 is set up, but he's not part of the plan. His skills are not useful in season 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's almost just there, just in case they have to do something tech related.
Well, he's mostly there because they needed to get him. The whole point was to get him.
In season 3 and 4, yes, that is correct.
Yeah. If they didn't need to get him, A, they just wouldn't have done this. But, B, even if they had done it, he wouldn't have been invited. Or he would have just been invited to, be around.
It's so funny because I know exactly, like, that made total sense to me, but I'm sure Moira is like, what exactly are you talking about?
I know, I'm like, should I, like, tune this out?
Yeah, maybe,
like,
for sure.
I was vague.
You were vague, for sure.
And then, Berlin's just on the bottom because he sucks.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's
what
fair.
about you, Moira?
For season 1, my ranking is Tokyo, Nairobi, Rio, Raquel, the Professor, and Berlin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really fair.
Yeah. All valid.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
I'm so excited.
For baby names, we, instead of doing baby names again, we decided to do pick your own city name, because everyone in the show that's on the heist, they're, instead of using their real name, they use a city name. So what did you guys have? What would be your city name?
I'm so excited that I thought to do this. So I'm taking the full credit here because
you deserve the full credit.
Yeah. So fun. I have 3 names that I picked just because well, you're running a team together, and like, you know, some people might want to pick the same name as you. You gotta have backup.
Yeah,
true, very true.
So my 3 names that I would like to put forward are Istanbul, Panama, or Calgary.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh.
I think that those are all really fun. I really like them. I think that 2 potential jobs I could do would be like a Lisbon-style assistant to the professor, which makes no sense to Moira.
No.
Or, again, not going to make any sense to Moira, undercover hostage, like Manila.
Ooh.
I think I'd be a good Manila.
Intrigue.
I don't think that we'd met Manila when I wrote Undercover Hostage, and then we met Manila, and I was like, oh yeah.
Amazing. Oh, so
this is what I wanted to do. I don't have a lot of technical skills or anything like that. Like, I'm not going to be counterfeiting anything or melting gold down or whatever, or printing money or
yeah, exactly.
Running heavy machinery. I don't have a lot of those skills, but I think that like I could befriend hostages, or I think I could like be like the professor's personal assistant / like partner.
Yeah, like right hand woman. Kind of thing. So my 2, I have 2. I thought either, and also, okay, I just want to say Calgary, I'm really feeling for you. I think that suits you really well. Out of all of those, really feeling that for you. So my 2 that I thought of were Delhi, as in like New Delhi.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Nova Scotia, but just be called Nova.
I like that too.
Oh, cute.
I think my issue with Calgary, why it's like 3rd on my list, is they weren't in order, but like Calgary is like almost a little bit too close to my actual name. Like I have a cast starting name.
Oh.
So, you know.
Okay.
Which also might be why you resonate with it too, for me.
Maybe.
It's similar to my actual name.
Maybe that's why I think it suits you.
But yeah, I'd be happy with any of those. So if you think like Calgary would be like it for me, I'm willing to accept that.
I mean, all those are really cool. I think any of those would be really awesome.
Yeah.
And then I put the same thing for what I'm bringing to the team, because I wouldn't want to be like violent or like I don't want to like actually commit any crimes, but I would definitely be someone who could like either be undercover or not undercover, be in charge of like keeping people calm and like befriending the hostages, kind of keeping people calm, I guess, like kind of keeping control of the hostages either directly or like undercover as one of them.
I can see that for you for sure.
Yeah. I don't see myself like being like quality control or like violent in any, or like having to punish somebody if the hostages like, yeah, I just don't see myself doing anything like that, but that's a job I would definitely do as well.
So I said Edinburgh for my name.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I love that. I like that for you.
You would totally be in Edinburgh.
I'm not sure, like, what I would add to the team. You guys said in, like, the other episode that I would probably be the one to not kill Berlin, and after watching season 1, that's inaccurate. I would have beaten him up by this point.
Strong disagree.
Yeah. No, I would have beaten him up. But I mean, like, I totally could have been, like, the muscle. Like, I'm definitely so intimidating.
Right.
Like, all 5'2" of me would be, like, so scary for everyone.
I super thought you were serious for a second.
No.
When you said you could be the muscle, I'm like, oh, yeah, you go, girl. Hell yeah, keeping things in line.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
Okay.
I'm definitely not being able to be like crawling through the vents, like
No, thank you. I'm good.
Okay, so lastly, we're going to move on to Supernatural, which you guys all know I have been obsessed with and watch further than the first season.
For reference, how far has everybody watched?
I am, I believe, 10 episodes into season 4.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yes. How far have you watched?
Season 1.
I have watched all 327 episodes. Most of them more than once.
I love that.
There's a few episodes in like season 14 and 15 that I haven't seen multiple times, but like in the first 13 seasons, I've seen every episode at least twice.
Okay,
Incredible.
As far as like favorite episodes go, looking at my list, every single one of them are not in season 1, so
that's okay.
But I will mention them, and then when Moira gets to them, she'll be excited. So
yeah,
incredible.
Okay, so do we want to start with like favorite and least favorite plots and storylines? I mean, I guess we can just kind of talk and go for it. So as KJ said, episode 8 of season 1, called Bugs, is pretty widely known as the worst episode of Supernatural. And so what did we think of this episode, and what do we...
I watched this with Moira.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we did a watch party. It was the first time I've rewatched Bugs in a long time. When I did my rewatch, I skip it.
Really?
It is so bad. It's actually not as bad as I remember it being, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I definitely don't like it. It's not one of my favorites, that's for sure. Like, it's way low on the list.
Yeah.
But KJ had warned me, and I had lower expectations. So I was not as mad at it as I thought I would be. There's one episode of Doctor Who that no one talks about that's just like widely known as like the worst thing to ever happen in Doctor Who. It's
That's
just
funny.
like no one talks about it. It's just awful, and it has nothing to do with any of the actual characters. That kind of, honestly, it was way better than that episode of Doctor Who. So that was
That's
like what
fair.
I was expecting.
In season 10, there's like at the beginning of season 10, like before season 10 starts, like there's like an episode 0 of season 10.
Okay.
Where it's like a reflection on the previous 9 seasons.
Okay.
And it's like it's the actors and the creators and the producers, and like they have like videos of fans reacting to things.
Amazing.
The season 9 finale was pretty traumatic for fans.
Okay.
And so they had like a bunch of people people who did like reaction videos. They had like compiled like a bunch of reactions together, and like they talked about like favorite episodes to film, like episodes that were hard to film, and like Bugs is like bad, and Wendigo was Eric Kripke, who created the show, and he wrote that episode, was like, I hate this episode. I think Robert Singer, who Bobby's named after, was like, don't do this episode. And they did it anyways.
Yeah.
But I think what makes Bugs particularly bad is that the CGI is so bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, like, it's midnight and then it's morning in, like, one scene.
Yeah.
In the climactic scene. But it's particularly bad, like, from a filming standpoint. So they use real bees.
Yeah, I saw that in the trivia thing.
And then they didn't show up, and they tell a whole bunch of it's like a shot to like the producers telling us how this went down, and then shot to Jared and Jensen being like, this was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Where like the bees were supposed to be docile and they were not.
Oh god.
It's like they're docile bees, except for that like Dean has a flamethrower. And then the bees didn't show up on camera, so they had to CGI them in anyways.
Exactly, they went through all that for nothing.
Yeah. So everybody got stung to hell for no reason.
Yeah.
Just so bad.
Love it. Like, I was told so many times that Bugs was gonna be awful. So, like, when we watched it, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, expecting it to be bad, and I'm like, this is so dumb, and I love it so much.
The kid in that episode went on to be on Letterkenny, though, so...
Right.
Oh, lovely. I love that.
Okay. So, favorite episodes? Do we want to talk about what our favorite episodes are?
The ones that I wrote down were, like, probably Dead in the Water or Dead Man's Blood.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't remember what they're about now.
Dead in the Water is...
I didn't write any context.
Dead in the Water is the one with the kid, like, the drowning, where they... Like, the dad.
Yeah, I thought that one was really cool.
The kid in the water, yeah.
And then Dead Man's Blood is when they're finally, like, reunited with John and they hunt the vampires.
Yeah.
About vampires.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. I like that. Vampire.
I thought that was a good episode.
That episode just, honestly, it's a good episode, but every time I think about it, I just think about this, like, Sam and John having a fight, and then as they're, like, Dean breaks up the fight, and then John's like, I wouldn't have given you the car if I knew you were gonna, like, get rusty, because he's mad at Sam, but he takes it on Dean.
Yeah.
That hurts me.
That hurts me.
Yeah,
that was hard to watch. My least favorite episode is the episode titled Faith.
That's one of my favorites. Oh my god, tell me more.
That episode. No, that was a weird episode. I don't know. It was not my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as season 1 episodes go, that's pretty high for me.
Fair.
I would say it's pretty high for me too. I would say it's on the higher level for me for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's
a really good Sam and Dean episode. It's a really good Dean episode. Like
really good Dean episode.
Dean's moral code is more explicitly defined there than a lot of other episodes.
And the first ever time that Dean was supposed to have died.
Yeah. He goes on to die like 100 times. So
yeah, so this is a monumental
moment.
One, yeah.
Dean dies more than any other character.
Yeah. So my other favorites would be season 2, episode 9, Croatoan.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one. That comes back. Don't forget that one.
Okay. I won't. It's one of my favorites. So I just thought it was so scary. It was one of the. Ooh. It's just I don't know. Just like one of the more scary ones. And then season 2, episode 12, Night Shifter. I really liked that.
That's really good too.
It's a really really good one.
I almost picked that one. We almost watched that one for the pod. Like that was almost my pick.
Amazing. Yeah. I love that.
That's awesome.
And then season 4, episode 6, Yellow Fever is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, oh my god.
Like, write it down, mark it on your calendar. When you get to that episode, we should all 3 watch it together because that's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god.
Yellow Fever's good. For context, we actually did talk about Yellow Fever in episode 15 because that's where the Eye of the Tiger clip is from.
You're right. You're so right. And I was so shocked when we got to the end of the episode and they actually play it on the episode.
Yeah, so the actual scene is not that, but that is like an outtake from
an
scene.
Extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put it in before the credits of the episode. The episode ends and then it cuts to that.
Oh my god, the scratching there. Oh my god, it's so good. But I thought that it was just like an extra thing from like YouTube or something. Or
nope, it's right in there.
But it's right in the actual episode. I was so happy.
Those are all good episodes. Do you have some least favorites that you wanted to talk about?
I didn't even write any down. For sure, Bugs would be low down.
Yeah, valid. No one's going to invalidate that opinion.
No. I'm trying to think. You go, and I'll see if I can think of any.
Yeah, I kind of listed off some of my favorite episodes already, instead of randomized rankings, because we didn't have them. But I think in season 1, I think Faith or the pilot are, like, my favorite season 1 episodes. But I think like, overall in the series, like, when I think favorite episode, the finale of season 5, episode 22, Swan Song, I mean, it's considered to be the best episode and the best finale, basically, to date.
Okay.
That's where the show was supposed to end originally.
Right.
So like everything in the first 5 seasons like comes up to this moment. Like it's a really good episode. Season 5, episode 4, The End, is another favorite of mine when I think favorites.
Okay.
I was just trying to remember like what I said last time. I had both those on my list. But yeah, I'd say like the other 3 episodes that I talked about in episode 15 were really good. Season 2, surprisingly, much higher in my brain than I remember it being. I honestly, until Faith was watching season 2, I was like, oh, season 1 and 2 are like okay, but like the show was still finding its footing. No, season 2 was fucking good.
Really good.
It had so many good episodes.
I was so surprised because, like, when you're watching season 1, it feels so dated. I mean, like, it's a good season, but it feels as far as, like, it feels so old and everything feels, I don't know, it just feels like it's 2005 or 2006.
Yeah.
But then I'm on season 4 and the quality is already so much higher.
Yeah.
It's unreal how fast it grows as far as like actual like production quality, but also like quality of episodes and so amazing. I also didn't really love Hell House.
I was just going to say Hell House is not one of my favorite episodes. I'm not really into the pranks. Some people really love this like whole pranking thing. The only thing I think Hell House has going for it is Ed and Harry, who are recurring characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've been back anywhere that you've seen. So.
Yes. What's what's their version of Ghostbusters?
Ghostfacers.
Ghostfacers. I've seen that episode. It's in whatever season.
They continue to recur. They recur a few times in the first few seasons. I think they recur in season 11 or something.
Wow.
They are recurring characters. I could be wrong about that last one, but
I super hated the storyline of their intern and having feelings for him and how they treated that in the
there's a clip of
Ghostfacers.
There's this compilation of screenshots with funny what's the word I'm looking for?
Or...
Yes, but subtitles. Screen grabs with funny subtitles this one where it's Dean dies in the shower, or and there's the one where the guy's doing the narration about their intern and how gayness overcomes death or something. It's all of them are lines. It's how is this a real line in the show? I will literally send it to you guys. It's really funny.
I thought it was so dumb and unnecessary.
It is a little bit it's a little on the edge.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit teetering too far on the edge of.
Yeah, Supernatural skirts the edge a little bit on it.
Yeah, I would say that's probably one of my least favorite episodes too. Is Hell House. I didn't really like Ghostfacers either. I found Ghostfacers really boring.
Yeah, so the thing about Ghostfacers
season 3
was it was kind of a joke because it was during season 3 happened during the writer's strike. And people were like, well, what's going to be on TV if all these scripted shows are have to go off air? If the writer is just saying, nope, we're not writing, then what's going to be on TV? It's going to be those reality type TV shows. It's going to be reality TV is going to be all we have left because we're not going to have anybody to write scripted shows.
Okay.
So it was also kind of a joke where the writers were like, this is the show that could potentially replace Supernatural on the air.
Right. Right. Yeah, I just thought it was a really boring episode, and then also...
Yeah, it's okay, you're definitely entitled to that opinion.
No, for sure. But that gives a lot of context, though, for sure. It feels really a lot less random with that context. Favorite guest character that's not one of the Winchesters?
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's so hard. I would say Bobby for sure. I love Bobby so much. He's end of season 1.
Yeah, the last episode of season 1.
I love Bobby. Oh girl, you'll love Bobby so much. And then I also love Joe and Ellen too.
Yeah, they're in season 2, but Joe and Ellen are recurring guests, and I love them so much. There's so many characters I cannot wait for you guys to meet.
I know.
It blows my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait till you meet this character. Oh, this character, you don't meet them till season 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't. It's so weird. It's so weird to see Cass now.
Yeah.
Because I've bought, I think I mentioned this, whatever. I know I mentioned this to you guys, but buying KJ so much Supernatural merch for birthdays and stuff, and seeing all kinds of pictures of him. But I've never once seen a clip of him talking. So it's so weird to see him as an actual physical character that I've only ever seen in pictures and stuff. It's just so weird. It's trippy.
I love that.
One of my favorite guests in season 1 is Jessica Steen, who's in Heartland.
Aww.
She plays Lisa in Heartland. She plays Officer Kathleen in season 1, episode 15, I think it is, The Benders.
Which is a really
episode. Yeah, it's a scary but really good episode.
Really good.
That was a really good episode.
Really good. And I think she's a really good guest. For a single episode guest, I think she's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think my favorite recurring guest is probably Charlie, who's honestly, you don't even meet Charlie till season 7. But
okay. I'm
she's really good. She's a fan favorite. She's played by Felicia Day, who's just such a joy. And I'm really excited for you guys to get there. But I think as far as recurring characters go, Charlie is top notch. Bobby becomes a fairly seasoned regular in seasons 4 and 5, so
I mean they become almost useless without him.
Yeah.
At some point. So.
He is the father figure that we very much need.
What about you, Moira? Do you have a favorite guest character?
My favorite from season 1, because there was not a ton that we got.
Right.
A lot of context was Meg. I loved Meg so much.
There's two Megs that are the same. They're the same characters. Two Meg Masters characters. I prefer the later Meg, who's played by Rachel Miner, to this Meg, who's played by Nikki Icox. I think that Nikki Icox is really good for this Meg. Like season 1 and Meg is really good, but Rachel Miner's Meg is really iconic.
Incredible. Yeah. I really liked her as a character so far.
So do we want to talk about like funny and silly moments and episodes and plots that we liked?
I tried to limit mine to season 1. I think in season 1, I think overall, like, the silliest episode is Hell House in season 1.
Okay, yeah.
Which is, you know, the pranking and, like, the Tulpa monster is, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's the episode that's meant to be silly.
Yes.
I think overall in this series, like, there's way funnier episodes. I think that they really lean into it in later seasons. I honestly couldn't even pick out, like, a funniest episode. Maybe The French Mistake, which is the one where they are put into, like, their actors' lives.
Oh, fun.
It's so good, and, like, the actors made it really fun. This one, that's one that would have been so good to be watching live. Misha's character, like, as Misha, is, like, a big Twitter personality.
Oh my gosh.
When the episode originally aired, Misha tweeted the same tweets that his character was tweeting.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
And the tweets are obnoxious. They all start, Hola, Misha Migos.
Oh my god.
Which is a big commitment when you only had like 140 or 280 characters. It's just a really funny episode. Probably one of the funniest in the series.
Yeah, I had a hard time picking like a specifically funny episode in the first season. Nothing like stands out for me. Probably, I guess, Hell House is because you said like it's supposed to be
the prankiness. I'm just not into it. Yeah.
So as far as like. Because, I guess season 1, they're trying to go for more horror scariness, and then they start to lean into...
A lot of the, like, funny moments are, like, fleeting moments of, like, funny. The Winchesters are such pop culture. Like, all they do is hunt monsters and watch TV and movies. Because they have all the references.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I would say Yellow Fever is definitely on my mind from season 4.
Oh, yeah, so good.
So friggin' hilarious. I love it so much. Trickster, season 2, episode 15 was really funny. I love Sam and Dean fighting, and when Sam is telling the story, describing like what Dean is doing, and he's shoving like handfuls of candy in his mouth while he's trying to like talk to these people. It's hilarious. And I think Dean's eating in general whenever he's like grabbing food in the background. I think that's always funny. I love that. It gets me every time.
And like that's really good because the boys are narrating each other and like they're annoyed at each other, so the way they're narrating it is like funny.
Making fun of each other. Yeah. Sam like hugs a stranger and is like crying and being all overly emotional, and
it's so good. Yeah,
at one point Dean's talking about Sam and how the story went, and Sam's like dialogue just ends up being blah 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 blah. Like it's so funny.
It's so really good. Yeah, that's incredible. A good one. That's a good one. That's a good Bobby episode too, because he's just like get the fuck together.
Yes. What about you, Moira? Anything that stands out to you?
Not really. Like, there's, like, certain, like, different scenes where you see, like, Dean and Sam together and stuff, but there's not, like, a main episode in season 1 that's, like...
Yeah, that's fair. There's some good, like, moments, but there's no, like, episode that is, like, particularly funny in season 1. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do Love It or Lose It?
Yes, for sure. My Love It is just the brothers in general, and them interacting is very fun. And my Lose It is John Winchester and his inability to be a parent.
Yep.
So fair. Yeah, okay, so my Love It is also the boys. I think they're so lovable. You fall in love with them and their relationship with each other so fully and wholeheartedly. I just love them so much. And my Lose It is both I guess 3, kind of. The fact that they ever lie to each other, I think it's so dumb and pointless.
Yes. Oh, sorry, it's a rough road there. They cannot stop.
I mean, when has it ever gotten them anything positive? Like, they've been through so much. Just tell each other what's going on. It's so dumb. And then, of course, John Winchester, I would agree. I had it, like... The college fund thing, that bothered me so much. And the fact that they laugh about it, that they spend their...
right?
They joke about the fact that he spent the college fund on ammo. I think that is so not funny.
Yeah, that was rough. I hate John Winchester.
I just hate him in general. Totally awful.
He is irredeemable as a character.
Totally.
I think I like how he is portrayed, though. Not by the boys. I think the way that the boys are written to portray John is bad. I think that the way that he's portrayed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan's really good.
Mm-hmm.
In the 300th episode, like without spoiling anything, there's a situation in which the Winchesters, all four of them, get to have a family reunion type thing.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
And
oh boy.
like a one-day reunion of the family.
Wow.
And they have their first ever family meal since, like, Sam was a baby.
Wow.
But,
my goodness.
It's season 14, so, like, obviously John's been gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And they catch him up on everything that they've been doing.
Right.
And, like, Sam and John have, like, a little bit of a moment, almost. And it doesn't redeem anything. But I think that there's a moment where, like, they realize,
like, a good moment.
Yeah, I think there's, I think that the way that Jeffrey Dean Morgan portrays John Winchester is, like a realization. Like, all that you needed to hear was that I was proud of you. And just for the record, I am proud of you.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
It doesn't make up for the fact that he was a horrible parent. There's a lot of, without spoiling anything, there's a lot of Mary in some of the later seasons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Mary gets context as to what happened after she died.
Oof.
Right.
And, like, I can only imagine that the next time that Mary and John cross paths in heaven, it was just like Mary beating the shit out of him. Just, it's everything she didn't want for them. I think, especially in season 4 and 5, you're going to learn more about, like, Mary's life before she met John.
I do know a little bit more now about what Mary and John were like before they got together, got married and stuff and all that. Okay, and then my last lose it would be, I really don't like the way that Dean, like, I hate, like, the gay, like, wussy, like, jokes that he makes about Sam. I
think that this is a classic case of I'm in the closet and I can't come out and I have to be overtly homophobic.
overtly, like, I'm so incredibly not that.
Supernatural gets a bad rap for queerbaiting, but I think that there's, based on how they have directed Dean to act over the years, I can't see a scenario in which Dean isn't bisexual.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would definitely think he's closeted bisexual for sure. Just the little comments he makes like that, and some stuff about women too I don't super love. But
Dean's character kind of sucks. Dean weirdly bounces back and forth over the years because he is a little bit gross in how he talks about women and like that kind of like, you know, slightly homophobic comments or like toxic masculinity he's got a bit of an issue with. But also like he sees a teenage girl in distress and he's like, I'm gonna big brother this situation.
True. No, I think he's a good person. I just think there's those moments I didn't like. I agree with that. I do think, and I think he improves over time, like without losing his like womanizing kind of personality. I think I think the way in which he portrays himself improves over time. Totally. And I think that he's becoming more aware, even in the seasons I've watched, he's becoming more aware of the fact that he has been a bully. And
I also just think it could honestly be a lack of exposure.
Yeah.
Also that.
We have no evidence that Dean spent any real amount of time with a woman before he met Joe and Ellen.
Right.
True.
He doesn't have a mom. None of his parental figures seem to be like particularly good with women. We don't know that much about John, but we know he was doing exactly what Dean and Sam do. He was traveling the world hooking up with random women.
So that's what he like knows.
Like that's the role model he had, is the life that he's living. And I fully believe that John like was just drinking and having sex. Like I'm gonna leave my 2 young children unattended and go get blackout drunk so I don't think about the fact that my wife got murdered or you know that I failed to save someone from some werewolves today or like whatever. I don't think he had a good grasp.
No, I definitely agree. What about you? Did you go yet?
No, I didn't go yet.
Okay, go ahead then.
I agree. My loser is John Winchester. If you recall back to episode 15, I quoted Ellen Marsh of the Obsessed with Disappeared podcast pretty harshly against John Winchester. He can properly fuck all the way off. I think my other lose it would be the queer baiting on the show, and the burying of the gays. This show waited 11 years for Dean and Cass to have a moment, only for there to be a somewhat acknowledgement that there might be something there.
Oh, good.
And then for something immediately bad to happen with only 2 episodes to go of the whole show.
Oh, goodness.
Season 15. Obviously, I don't want to spoil to you anything about what happens at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And then that character that something bad happens to does get rescued, but we never see them reunited.
Okay.
We know that they end up okay, but we never see them reunited to, like, discuss. Misha Collins acts the crap out of it. Just beautiful. That happens. Charlie gets killed off in a really terrible way after a few seasons. And she's, like, one of the main, like, LGBTQ characters on the show. I just think, the show is really bad for burying its gays and for, queer baiting.
Right.
I think it's something the show could have improved on. I think it's, it's not like the worst show in terms of that, but it's not great. And I think that, especially because the last season just came out this year.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no excuse for, like, datedness. Did you do a love it?
I didn't do a love it yet.
Okay.
I knew my lose it was a bummer. I didn't want to.
Bring us back up.
My love it is probably, the boys, but also
of course.
Everyone else who they end up viewing as family. There's an episode where they take a family photo with Joe and Ellen and Bobby and Cass.
Oh my god!
And, like, Bobby and the boys, and it's, like, so cute. I love that so much. And, like, there's other people that they start to count as family. Just, like the definition of family is so evolving on the show a lot. And I think, like, that's important. Sam and Dean's bond to one another is just, like, unbelievable.
Amazing. Absolutely.
The knowledge that someone loves you that much must just be incredible to, like, live with. And not necessarily incredibly good, but, like...
Yeah, just, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah, mind-blowing. Like,
okay, so do we want to do randomized rankings?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so my ranking from top to bottom is Sam Winchester, Dean Winchester, Bobby, Meg, and then John at the bottom.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is also my ranking.
The same?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Sam, Dean,
I
Bobby,
feel really
Meg,
happy
John.
about that.
It felt weird to put John, like, below a demon, but
I know,
he
right?
sucks so much, and Meg's actually so good. I'd like to caveat, I'd like to actually put Meg twice. I'd like to put both Megs ahead of John.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to put the Rachel Milner Meg, and then the Nikki Icox Meg, and then John.
And then John.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I love that.
And the reason I put Meg as, like, fourth is because obviously, like, there's a real human in there. But then also, like, demons, that's just, like, what they do. Like, she was just, like...
Yeah, she's a really fun character.
She's a demon, yeah.
She's not a good character, but, like, John's supposed to be a good guy, and he sucks
Exactly.
ass.
Your job is to be a dad, her job is to be a demon, so you go last.
Mine's very similar. Dean, Sam, Meg, Bobby, and then John.
Because you don't know Bobby yet.
Yeah, I've only seen him in one episode. I have no context for him.
Yeah. Very fair.
Curious, just because, Faith loves Dean, but she still put him second. I want to know what it was about Dean that made you want to put him top.
I don't know.
It's not a criticism. Just curious.
Yeah, just asking, for sure.
Those switch constantly for me. Like,
me
Sam and Dean just could be either or. I've watched a lot of Jared and Jensen con videos all week. So, like, I'm just like... Jensen is just in my mind all the time.
Yeah, I'm obsessed, and I can't wait to watch it because it's so good. And I was so passionate about Dean being hotter, but oh my god, my friggin' heart is so conflicted, Moira. Now that once you get to, well, I mean, he's always been hot. He's always been, but I mean, season 4, Sam. Wow. Do we have any baby names at all?
I feel like I had some, but I didn't write them down. So did I actually?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it either until I saw it in the outline today. I don't really have any.
We didn't really have any last time either, so.
No.
I don't have any.
So anything else you guys want to mention before I wrap it up?
No, I think that was good. I mean, I think we'll have to revisit when we, like, finish, or,
Yeah.
Maybe by then I'll have a whole other podcast up and going, and we can just direct y'all there.
I would love... That's your Supernatural podcast. I I am a fan.
Open invitation to guess whatever you want.
If you do episode by episode, I need to be on the Yellow Fever episode.
Yes, okay. I'll mark you down right now.
Okay, that's definitely one that I want to be on. Okay, so that's been our episode then for this week. Thanks so much for listening all the way through. It's probably going to be a pretty long one. You've been listening to the Series of Opinions podcast. Let us know what you thought. If you watch any of these shows, if you watch all of them, what you think, what your favorite episodes of seasons 1 or of the whole show are. You can leave us a review. It really does help, or get in contact with us on social media to tell us all your thoughts. Our email is seriesofopinionspod@gmail.com. We're at Series of Opinions Pod on Tumblr and Instagram, and at Series of Opinion with no S on Twitter. You can find me at Miss Faith Ann across everything, and at Faith Ann Art for all of my art.
And you can find me at Moira_Frisk on everything.
And you can find me at Life Messes of KJ on everything. But actually, you can find me on Supernatural TikTok. I just spend my whole life there now.
Oh, amazing. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you to Faith Ebert for our logo. This episode was written, produced, and recorded by us. It was edited by Editing Moira and Editing KJ. And we will be back next week with an episode on some more of our favorite ships. Bye!
Bye!